Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. In this video, I want to talk about Week 11's matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. Now, I know it's been a few weeks since I've done a video on the Panthers or a video at all, but it's going to kind of sound like stuff I've repeated throughout the season and even one of my previous videos, just talking about the problems with the Panthers. So I may be overly negative. Good thing I didn't do last week's game, the Thursday night, because the Panthers didn't show up at all in that game. They were still in Charlotte and got completely wrecked. So good thing I didn't make a video about that game. I even said it on Twitter I was going to make a video about that because it was just going to be me repeating week in and week out the same things that I've been seeing on film, watching the games live. It's the same problems. But since I haven't done a video in a few weeks, I decided to do this one because this is the game they should have won. Left so many mistakes, dropped passes. Graham Gano was garbage in this game. The defense was terrible. But let's get into the numbers before I really talk about that. Starting with the Lions, Matthew Stafford, 23 of 37, 220 yards and a touchdown. He made some nice throws, but it really wasn't necessarily on him. He didn't really have one of those games that he's capable of having, 2 or 3 touchdowns, just because, outside of really Galladay, no one else is making plays in terms of the passing game. I think the running game has improved throughout the season for them. Kerryon Johnson's been great. He was good in this game until he got hurt. Speaking of rushing, Kerryon Johnson, 15 carries, 87 yards and a touchdown. He was great. Yards after contact, he was making guys miss. He was breaking tackles. He got hurt and it kind of went away from the run game, despite them having the lead for the most part in that second half. Once he got hurt, they really started to go away from the running game. Stafford, 3 carries for 6, and LeGarrette Blount, 7 carries for 1. LeGarrette Blount sucks. He sucks. But at that point, they had to run him just because Kerryon Johnson got hurt. So hopefully his injury isn't too bad. Detroit is receiving. Kenny Galladay, 8 receptions, 113 yards and a touchdown. He wanted to be their number one guy, and he made a really good catch on Bradbury. It was good coverage, but he made a really good catch, and you see why the front office is fully behind this guy as their number one receiver, because this guy makes some really good catches. He's a pretty good receiver. It was a big reason why they were willing to part ways with Golden Tate. Ellington, 6 receptions, 52 yards. Theoretic, 5 receptions for 30. Tololo, 1 reception for 13. Kerryon Johnson, 2 receptions for 10. And Jones, 1 reception for 2. So really, outside of Galladay, no one really played well in terms of pass catching. He's going to be their go-to guy. Someone else is going to have to step up. Marvin Jones, whoever it may be. They need someone else to step up in the passing game, especially with them trading away Golden Tate. Defensively, I thought Darius Slay was good. He did give up a touchdown to DJ Moore, but I thought for the most part his coverage was good. He got beat pretty bad on that play in the end zone. Really nice throw and catch from Cam Newton to DJ Moore. But for the most part, I thought they did a good job against the run. Coming into this game, I expected the Panthers' running game to be a lot better against bottom 5 run defense, at least in terms of yards in the NFL and Detroit Lions. Now, they've been better in the last couple of weeks, but still, common trend throughout the season was they weren't that good against the run. Most teams were running the ball all over them. So, I kind of expected the Panthers to have way more success than they did. Cam didn't really run the ball. So, I think overall, they were solid. Especially after giving up all those points to the Bears last week. They were terrible. Lions were terrible against the Bears. They came back, and the defense played much better. You got to give them credit. A lot of mistakes made by the Panthers, drop passes, Cam holding the ball, stuff like that. But I thought they looked better than I thought coming into it, because I didn't think they were going to play good. I thought the Panthers would have been able to pretty much dominate the line of scrimmage and be able to run on them. Just didn't happen. So you got to give some credit to the Lions defense. Looking at the Panthers, Cam Newton 25-37, 357 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Speaking of interception, the receiver didn't come back to the ball, allowing the cornerback to kind of break on the ball. The receiver comes back to the ball, has a better chance of making that reception in front of him. Other than that, Cam was good. He had that throw, and people are going to talk about the throw, 2-point conversion where he completely misses. I believe that was Jarius Wright. He completely misses Jarius Wright. Had him open because two defenders kind of ran into each other. Had him wide open in the end zone. They would have took the 1-point lead. He missed that throw, but he was a big reason why they were in the game. And I agree. Yeah, he missed that throw, but no one's going to blame Gano for leaving 4 points on the table. But like I said, I'm going to get into that. Christian McCaffrey, 13 carries, 53 yards. Cam Newton, 2 carries for 2. I still think he should have ran it on that 2-point conversion. He usually does. He usually has more carries than just 2. He did get hurt in the game. That's why Hanky had 1 throw. But he came right back into the game, and he didn't look like he was slowed down. He literally came back and had an 80-plus yard drive to get a touchdown. So clearly wasn't bothered. Thought he should have ran that in for that 2-point conversion. They didn't run the ball a lot. Only 16 carries. They need to get some. And a big reason because of that, because Cam didn't run the ball that much. He usually gets 8 or 9 carries a game. Either it's from they've gone less. They've gone away from the quarterback design runs, but you didn't even see the end around plays that they usually run. They didn't even run those. To DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. And speaking of Curtis Samuel, that's some things I got to say about him. Not nothing negative per se, but just what the coaching staff's been doing, and it's really annoying. And you know it's Ron Rivera because he's a moron. Okay, before I get into that, receiving, DJ Moore 7 receptions, 157 yards and a touchdown. He should have got that 80-yard. He should have got a touchdown when he broke that tackle on the sideline, ran the field like he was starting to give out of gas. Thought he was a lot faster than that. But yeah, 7 receptions, 157 yards and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 6 receptions, 57. Curtis Samuel, 5 receptions, 55 and a touchdown. Jarius Wright, 3 receptions for 40. Devin Funchess, who was garbage in this game, by the way, dropped the pass right in the end zone. I think he had 3. Could have been 4 drops. He had 3 for sure that I remember seeing on tape. He was terrible. He had a touchdown in the end zone where Cam puts it right on him. He drops it. He displays where he's wide open. He's just dropping. He was garbage in this game. Greg Olsen, 2 receptions, 9 yards and a touchdown. Cam has to he only targeted him 3 times. Cam has to try to throw him the ball more. Devin Funchess can't catch. You got to throw to a guy like Greg Olsen who you know is sure-handed. But you can tell he's slowed down. The foot injuries have really slowed him down. He never was really a fast guy. But let me get into a problem I have. Curtis Samuel only played 16 snaps, yet he has 5 receptions, 55, and a touchdown. Devin Funchess played 48. I understand he plays 40. He's a guy who's been there. He's made plays. Jarius Wright played 41. Explain this to me. Explain this to me. Why Jarius Wright played 41 snaps and Curtis Samuel, who has been productive when he's been on the field, only played 16. It goes back to the coaching staff, mostly Ron Rivera. I don't like these teams that do this whole seniority thing. You got your veteran guy, so he automatically gets the nod. No. Put the guy on the field who's out there making plays. Curtis Samuel, when he's been on the field, has been making plays. It's as simple as that. Put him on the field. He should have got those 41 snaps over Jarius Wright, or at least 25 plus. But no, Ron Rivera, you can tell he's rigid. He doesn't want to change things. I'm coming into the games. Does he do film study? Or you look at these games and the Panthers come out sloppy. Happens way too often for it not to be them not being prepared. And it goes into coaching. Of course, the players play on the field, but at some point, when is someone going to blame the coach? Because you don't see it in the national media. Oh, they already got the person they want to blame. That's Cam Newton. They blamed him for all the problems with the team. And you know they don't watch the game. And we're going to get on to another thing, the defense. I don't care how many tackles Luke Kuechly had. They were garbage. Yeah, they didn't give up a lot of passing yards. But watch the games. Missed tackles. Can't get any pressure. Trash job of setting the edge. The defensive line, especially the ends, pathetic. They're going to have to look somewhere else. Julius Peppers, just go ahead and retire, dude. I thought the run defense started to get better as the game went on, because when they started out, they were terrible. The Lions went straight down the field on their opening drive and scored a touchdown. And that's the reason why the Panthers are one of the worst red zone teams. Can't get pressure. Quarterbacks got all day to throw, and eventually you're going to find someone open. So they're going to have to look. Coming to next season, that draft pick has to be a defensive end. They need a you need a premier pass rusher. To be a successful team in today's NFL, you need a premier pass rusher. You have to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. I said this in countless videos. You have to be able to get pressure on the quarterback, or you're going to lose a lot. You can't cover these guys, especially with the rules. You cannot cover these guys in the secondary. Even some of the teams with the best corners in football, not getting pressure on the quarterback, these quarterbacks are going to carve you up. And you saw that against Pittsburgh, not able to get any pressure. Ben Roethlisberger carved them up. He only had like 3 incompletions. Now, like I said, Matt Stafford didn't carve them up, but he had all day to throw. And they also did, like I said, they did a poor job of setting the edge, a poor job of tackling. They got to look somewhere else. Julius Peppers has to go. He's old. He had a good season last year, but at this point, he's just not that impact player that he used to be. Mario Addison, he was a guy. He was better as a rotation guy when he came in. He came in on passing downs. He made plays during those passing downs. And now when you ask him to stop the run, he's playing a bunch of snaps, not just only on passing downs. He just hasn't. I don't know. He's not the permanent answer. I still like him on the team, but they have to get some other guys there. They have to get younger. Julius Peppers is old. In the interior, K'Wan Short, they just haven't played. Dontari Poe, they brought him in from Atlanta. They just haven't played as well this season. Even against the run, we're talking about a team that was year in and year out. Last 3-4 years were top 5 in run defense, and they've been pretty bad against the run this year. So, just some things they got to fix. And honestly, it goes to coaching. Are they really trying to find out who's best for, who's they got to put some other guys in to see who can make some plays. Just kind of sticking with what you have. It just hasn't been working. They've been trying to send pressure more often, which has worked, but you still need some guys who can make plays on your defensive line, especially when you're not sending that pressure. And they just haven't had it like they have in the past. It's been a team, they always had that guy on the defensive end, Charles Johnson, Julius Peppers, Greg Hardy. They've had guys who, and we're talking about these guys in their prime, they've had guys who just made plays on the defensive line. One-on-one, can you beat your man? Can you beat that left tackle? Can you beat that guard? I'm going to say tackle, but can you beat that guard? Can you beat that tackle? One-on-one. Just haven't had it this season consistently. Team stats, Carolina 5-11 on third down. Detroit Lions 4-12. Turnovers, Carolina had the interception. It was, for the most part, it was a pretty clean game. 2 penalties by Carolina, 15 yards. 1 penalty by Detroit Lions. So it was a pretty clean game. Like I said, you had the turnover. You only had 3 penalties between both teams, so it's pretty good. Time of possession is very close. Detroit 31 minutes, 40 seconds. Carolina 28 minutes, 20 seconds. So the game was really close, but the Panthers came in as a huge favorite. You're talking about a Lions team that's really struggled. They don't have the weapons. You don't have a Golden Tate there anymore. and the Panthers came in. They looked sloppy. You had a long week. Yeah, you got beat down by the Steelers. So what? That game's over. You had a long layover, 10 days, and you come out looking like that. The first drive, they were great. The first drive, they were great. Then throughout the game, the defense was awful. The offense kind of, with the drop passes and Cam holding the ball, they started to look like sloppy Panthers. How the Panthers are weak, week in and week out. The one week they'll look like they can beat anyone. Next week, they'll struggle against some of the bottom teams in the NFL. And I don't understand why. Like I said, it's definitely players. Players take some of the blame for that, because at the end of the day, they got to go out there and make the plays. But the coaching staff, are they getting these guys ready? I like Norv Turner. I think a lot of things he's put into the offense has helped guys like DJ Moore, has helped guys like Curtis Samuel, if Curtis Samuel got the playing time. But Ron Rivera, a lot of the problems with this team goes on his shoulders. He just gets none of the blame. Cam gets all the blame. Guys missing tackles, they don't get the blame. Guys can't get pressure on the quarterback, they don't get the blame. Guys getting beat in the secondary, they don't get the blame. Receivers dropping passes, Cam still somehow gets the blame. Not one. Kicker Graham Gano was garbage. 4 points left on the table. He misses an extra point. There's a reason why they went for 2. They just didn't say it. They didn't trust Graham Gano because he missed the extra point early in the game. Somehow, no one brings that up. No one brings any of that stuff up in terms of why the team lost in that game, why the issues have been going on throughout the season. No one brings that up. They just bring up Cam missed the throw. Mind you, these reasons that were in the game, he had a couple long drives in that fourth quarter. That's the reason they were in the game. But let's bring up that one throw that he missed, which he missed. I agree. It was a bad throw. He should have set his feet. He had time in the pocket. Probably should have took off and ran and got it. We've seen him do it in the past. But to blame him for that one throw, when you had 40 plus minutes of garbage, it's annoying, just because you can tell those people don't watch the games. They just look at a box score. They look at a highlight of Cam missing that throw, and they say, "Oh, well, if he makes that, they win the game." Yeah, you're right, he does. But if he doesn't have those long drives, they're not in the game. With all the other things that went wrong with the team, Cam's the last person you should blame. Now I've been hard on him when he does play bad, but this is not one of those cases. It's just the fact that we live in a time where the fans don't watch the games. They look at box scores and determine, who played well. They look at a single highlight, 20, 30-second highlight of that negative play from Cam, and they say, that was the reason they lost, without looking at all the other things that went wrong with the team. Ron Rivera will never get any blame, and that's why they probably won't get rid of him. But let me know what you think down in the video about think down in the comment section about this video. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.